y'all. So I wasn't really planning on making this a video. I was just gonna send this to my friend Rebecca. She's currently learning Python and she was wondering like, how can I actually store my projects, so my code, on GitHub? And the reason why you would want to store it somewhere, and GitHub is a website where you can store your coding projects, is that maybe you want recruiters to see this. So on your resume you can actually have a link to your GitHub, or maybe you want to collaborate on a project with someone and you want to store that code in a central location so you can both easily access it and like add your different additions to the project. Or maybe you just want to create a backup of the project so that if something happens to your laptop, you know that project is still stored somewhere. So that is where GitHub comes into play, and I have a video explaining what is GitHub, what is Git, so definitely check out that video before watching this one. Okay, so let's walk through actually creating a project on GitHub. So what you want to do is you want to sign up if you do not already have an account. However, I do have an account, so I am going to sign in, and I'm already signed in this tab. So you can see over here it has my username and I am signed in. So the very first step of what we're going to do is we're actually going to create our repository. So as you can see over here, it has a repository section. I don't really use this account too much. I only have one project here where I worked on a cute Mother's Day card. But what you want to do now is create another project. So this is where we're going to actually store our code. So this is going to be really cool. So let's call this Hello World. You know, that's like my favorite phrase. We're not going to create a description, but if you wanted to, you could do that. So we're going to have this project be public. And what we are going to do is we're going to create a README. So I like the name of README. It's like read me, but you basically put information about your project in the README. So you can say, for example, what dependencies does this project has? Like maybe you must have this node module, or if you want to contribute to this project, how would you do that? So it just has a lot of information about the project. So that's what a README is. So let's actually create our repo with a README. And it's going to create, and boom, yes, we have our project. So as you can see, it has this one file that has Hello World in it, and this is our project. So the cool thing about this is that, like, you see how we have this specific URL? You can actually like link this on your resume. So for example, if you just put that on your resume, people can go to this URL and look, you don't have to be signed in or signed up or anything like that, and can actually see my project. And now what we want to do is we want to take this project, because this project right now lives on GitHub, and we want to actually add it onto our laptop so we can actually work on some of the different files, make our changes, and then later add our changes to GitHub. So to get this project, what we're going to do is clone it. So there's two different ways to clone. You can clone with HTTPS, or, oh, I think I opened up something. Or you can clone with SSH. There's also that version to do that. But let's actually clone this with HTTPS. So we're actually going to click this button right here, and that's going to clone it. And you can see right now it's just like a URL to the project. So now let's go onto our computer, and what we're going to do is open up Terminal. So I am using a Mac, so I can just search for Terminal in Spotlight like so. And I can click on Terminal and it opens up. However, if you're using Windows, just open up the equivalent of what you have. And if you do not know what you have, just leave a comment below and I can help do research and help you figure that out. So now what you want to make sure before you do anything is that you have Git installed. So to see if you have Git installed, you would have to run the command git 2- version. And you can see I have Git version 2.24.2. If you do not have it, so if you do not see a version number appear when you do this command, what you need to do is download Git. For example, what you can type in is like download Git for Mac, for me. So git-scm is like the official documentation for it. And then it will also have different instructions as well for like what type of computer you're using, so don't worry, it'll have that information there. But I have Git installed, so we are all good. I'm going to keep moving forward. So what I'm going to actually do, and this is all preference, you do not need to do this step, is I'm actually going to create a folder. I'm going to call this folder Git. Let's see. And this is where I'm going to store all of my Git projects, just to keep it organized. So for example, over here is this hello world is a project from GitHub that I want to store in that Git folder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to that and I'm going to use a series of terminal commands. If you would like more information on this, let me know. I don't want this video to be too long. I want it to be like 5 minutes, but I don't think it's going to be 5 minutes. So first we can do the ls command, and that basically lists out everything that is currently in that working directory. So if I do pwd, this prints my working directory. So I'm currently in my Bello, and when I say working directory, it just kind of means like what folder you're currently in. So now what we're gonna do is let's cd, so let's change directory, let's change folders into desktop. Then I can run the ls command again, and you can see these are everything that's there. I mean, technically there's also hidden files there, but let's not get into that right now. And let's change directories into Git. Okay, so if I list, currently that folder is empty, and you can also see that if I double click it, you'll see that nothing is in Git, but let's change that. So what we're gonna do now, since now we're in the correct location of where we actually wanna clone or bring our projects, but let's actually clone this project onto our local machine. So if we run the command git clone, and then after it, let's put that URL there. So we can just go back here, copy it, or you can use SSH, but we are going to use HTTPS to clone. So we hit enter, and then it says cloning into hello world. We get all these different fun things printed on the screen. And now, so you saw previously we did the command ls and there was nothing there, but now when we run ls, you can see there's hello world. And then we can also go here and you see hello world is now in our Git folder. So now what we're going to do is we're going to change directories and we're going to go into hello world. So we're going to do that, and then if we list, we're going to see we have our README file. Nice. So on GitHub, as you saw, we have this README file, and that basically gives information about the project. So you see that was the file that was in this project. So we have the same file here because we created a clone of it. So let's say there was like lots of different more files and folders. When we do git clone, we copy everything that's in the repo. And that's what we did here. So now what we're gonna do is make some changes to this file, and we're gonna walk through the process of how you would make changes and then also put your changes onto GitHub so it can reflect over there. So I'm gonna use Vim. So let me open this README file up. So I'm using Vim to basically edit the file. However, if it's Python, you can use PyCharm, you can use IntelliJ, Visual Studio Code. This is just where I'm choosing to edit the files. However, you can edit it wherever you want. So now let's add some more stuff here. So let's say, subscribe to Maya Bello's channel. If you are enjoying the video. So we made some changes. So I'm just going to escape, save and quit, WQ. So now this is where some of the magic happens. So we're gonna run the git status commands. And I really use this command all the time. My friend explained it best. It's like the what the hell is going on command. So you can see that I'm on branch master, and we're going to talk a little bit more about branches and what they mean. However, that's going to be in a separate video if you're liking this video. And I also want to do some Python videos too. I feel like a lot of you like those Python videos. However, in my head I was like, they have to be perfect, but I think I'm just going to do it kind of like this video and just go for it. But anyway, so what's important here is that you see that this is modified. So we have modified the README file. So then it actually even gives you some hints on what you can do next. So you can actually git add, and then it has a file, and to update what will be committed. So there's going to be a series of commands we're going to run. So we just ran git status, and as a fun command, you can also run the command git diff, and then pass in the file name, but you don't have to pass in a file name. And you can also see what was changed. So previously it was just hello world. Now it's hello world, subscribe to my Bello's channel. And then if you're enjoying this video, smiley face. So you can actually see like the edits and the changes that you made. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just command K to clear the screen just because there's a lot going on. I'm going to run git status again so you can see that. So now what we're going to do is actually do git add. So let's do git add readme.md. And now if we run the git status command again, you'll see that this file is now green. So you can see before it was red. So now it has a different message as well that says changes to be committed. So what you do with a git add is you're saying what files do you want to include on GitHub, and taking it a little bit like of a step back is like what files do you want to commit. So what you do is you do a git add to choose the specific files you want to add. And then what we're going to do now is a git commit, which basically says like, okay, so whatever files I added, in this case it's one, but it can be more than one. Now I want to like commit to this. So if we do git commit, and then we're going to do a -m, and then we're going to have a little string, and we're going to say updated readme. So right here is where you put a message of basically what this commit is about. So all the files you added, what change does this represent? So I know in industry, it can be like added a new feature where customers can give real-time feedback. That could be it. It's just basically what change did you make? So I updated readme, so I'm going to press enter. And then it has this information, your name and email address were configured automatically. Cool, cool, cool. So what I really care about, it says 1 file change, 3 insertions, 1 deletion. So let's run git status again, see what it got for us. So it says on branch master, your branch is ahead of origin/master by 1 commit. Git push to publish your changes. So y'all, we are almost there. So we are going to run the command git push, enter, and then I need to enter my username, which is, oh Jesus, okay. Is it dashes? Yeah, it's dashes. Okay, ooh. Okay, so yeah, I don't know my password. Which one to choose? Okay, it fails. I made it wrong. You want to try this again? This is the whole world. Okay, password. Ayy. Y'all, I be struggling with passwords because you want to have different passwords for it to be secure. But anyway, so I put in my username, I put in my password, and then as you can see, we have all of this printed to the screen. And this is basically good news because what you can actually do is you can navigate to this website, and it's already open right here, but I'll just show you how it actually gives you the URL too that you can navigate to see where your changes are added. And then it says updated readme. So that was the commit message that I wrote in the terminal. It also gives you a timestamp 2 minutes ago. Then if I open up the readme, is we actually see the message and we see basically the changes that we added. So this is basically the power of GitHub. So for one, we can create a backup of our project. So you do not just have to keep your coding projects on your computer, on your local machine. You can actually store them on GitHub. Another great feature of this is that it allows teams to work collaboratively. So like right now, you know, we're all remote. It's the quarantine going on. I can work on a project. Someone in I don't know why I thought of Idaho. Idaho can work on the project, then also someone in New York. Like, we don't have to be in the same location. We actually have remote teams too that are in different countries that are working on the same projects as us. So it allows people to be able to see the changes, see the latest code, then also pull that on their laptops to work on it. And then what's also great is you get to see a history of the project. Like, you can see all the different commits and kind of see how the project has developed over time. And this is also called version control. So you can see the different versions of your project, and it's just really cool. So yeah, this is all I wanted to show you all. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.